Sources within the African Democratic Congress, ADC, have disclosed that at least 5 governors from the People's Democratic Party, PDP, are expected to join the opposition coalition in the coming months. A former senator from Katsina State shared that these governors are waiting for the resolution of internal issues within the PDP, specifically the ongoing drama involving River State Governor Nyesom Wike. In a related development, the ADC coalition continues to attract defections, with several prominent PDP figures joining the party. 5 PDP leaders from Benue, Niger, Kano, Gombe, and Borno states have already resigned from the PDP to align with the ADC. Meanwhile, the official website of the ADC has been facing technical glitches following a surge in online traffic from Nigerians attempting to register as members of the party. For a conversation to dissect the new political alliance against Tinubu's government under the umbrella of the African Democratic Congress, ADC, Shittu Adedayo Michael, Business Development Manager for Nigeria and Ghana at AHZ, joins us now. Thank you for joining us. Good afternoon.
Thank you.
Well, we've seen a lot of reactions following the coalition and a lot of comments, especially that came from the President's media aide, that Bayo Ononuga, saying that they are united, they have no ideology, they are only united by hatred for President Tinubu. And then we also see President Tinubu referring to the members of the coalition as internally displaced politicians. Now, with all of these comments and reactions following the creation or proposed creation of this, because of course we know that INEC is still looking into all of the, things involved. Do you think that perhaps if this coalition didn't hold water or if they didn't have much weight, do you think they would be generating all of these reactions?
Yeah, thank you for having me once again. To say they hold water, they have weight, that's an understatement, Considering the number of politicians and the calibers of people joining, the 2 major people that contended closely with the president in the last elections are on the list. Both of them gather even more votes together than the president himself. So it's an understatement to say they don't have weight. But I agree with the assertions that say there is no basic ideology. The idea is we want to remove the sitting president. We want to bring an options and all that. I feel they need to build more things based on ideology, addressing the issue of the people or what the current government has not done well, whatever initiative they are bringing on board. It should go beyond mere hatred or issue of demolition or taking over the current government. Basically more on ideologies and, addressing our core issues. I also agree with the people that feel they are displayed. I think many people they are actually having to have the coalition because they could not get a grip of the current PDP based on the different crises coming from the Minister of FCT and all that. So in all, it's right, but to say they don't have weight is an understatement. I feel they have weight. They're going to give the current government, run for their money. And, it's going to be an interesting days ahead. So that's my thoughts.
Interesting days indeed. But looking at the pedigree of the leading individuals of the ADC coalition, of course, we know about their political achievements and, of course, their, unquote, limitations as well. And the emergence issues of how they got to where they are they offering anything new to the Nigerian electorate, as it were? No,
they are not. There's nothing new. There's nothing new in what they are offering. That is the basic point I have made, that if they want to, if we're having coalition, it should be a coalition that is based on idea, that is based on addressing Nigerian issues, that is based on addressing the Nigerian people. The coalition that we have now does not in any way relate to Nigerian. It is about the politician and the political elites. They are chasing their personal ambition, looking for a ways to gather effort together to remove the sitting president. It is not about, they are not bringing anything. There is no difference between what, if you read the manifesto of Atiku Abubakar, for example, and read Tinubu's manifesto for the last election, you can barely differentiate whatever they were going to do. And these are people that have been either been in the vice president or they have been in government before. They have been part of the 20-something years of our new democracy. So, and they have contributed one way or the other, whether in their states or in their different position to the current state of the country.
All right, so you seem to align with Mr. Bayo Ononuga's position that this ADC coalition do not have an ideology that they are running with. But if you look at 2013, the coming together of about 4 political parties to form the APC, and then now these different political, bigwigs coming together to form this ADC. Would you say that the APC had an ideology back then in 2013 and right now as they're running?
No. So Nigeria, one of the political issues, one of the major issues we are experiencing as a country is that we have politicians that are chasing against their own interests, not the interests of the major.
The APC also doesn't have an ideology.
There was no real ideology. It was just people coming together to say, okay, let us take advantage of the situation and snatch power, make arrangements and all that. And that's what they have done in the last, about 8 years of Buhari has gone. We are almost into 3 years of this current government. We've not seen so much change, So it is not ideology based. And that is making it worse. What these ones are doing, those ones when they come together at that time, they both agree on a common goal to say, okay, we're going to line up behind President Buhari to become president of Nigeria. Then after so period, so person will come. They had a clear agenda. But these people that are coming together now, no direction, no idea who is going to be the president, who will subject his personal interest for the other person's interest.
But it's only beginning.
2013
to 2025.
If you're looking at it, it is obvious to the lame to see that the direction the coalition is going is the coalition to bring President Tinubu back to government in the next election, because they are not going to achieve anything. Nobody is interested in all those people you are looking at to subject their personal interest for the interest of any other person on that line. Everybody is hoping that I don't see, for example, what most people, the most possible arrangement they could have is to have Atiku Abubakar in front and maybe Peter Obi lying behind him. I don't see that happening. Are they going to have El Rufai lining in the front and Peter Obi, or El Rufai will stay behind Peter Obi? If you look at all those people, they are people of interest. What even brought them to this current state? It was because they were not satisfied from where they are coming from. That's why they went there. But in APC in 2013, they wanted to take government, and they knew that their individual parties were not strong enough. Then they matched the parties together. So this is different from somebody that was chased from his own party in PDP and now ran to ADC, or somebody that left Labour that could not manage their affairs at Labour, went to APC, or somebody that was going to be given a minister that did not get the minister, is coming to, if you look at everybody's interest, it is that they have been displaced one way or the other. Amechi was part of Buhari's government. El Rufai, part of Buhari's government. So which government are they displacing?
But let's be careful, though, about using that word, the IDPs, because it's derogatory.
If I may come in, yes, a lot of focus on the individuals, but there's a major faction within the African Democratic Congress which is opposed to the coalition that has just been formed. And how will this play out if we don't assuage the grievances of that faction? And are we likely to see signs of what happened with Labour Party? We're not saying there's a coalition that happened, but a prominent person was put or foisted on Labour, and it didn't go well with the others. And we're still seeing the signs, as it were.
That is to further explain the difference between the arrangement of 2013 and what they're having now. Yeah. In 2013, a new party, a new entire party was formed, and everybody bring their arsenal together to form that party. Now, you have gone to somebody's party and you have said, okay, leave your room for us. We want to come and take over. Yeah. Obviously, you expect a lot of... That is where the opposition, the person they want to display, that is where they will show their own strength, because they will start... That is where the cracks will begin. Before it will go to the player themselves. So we are going to see interesting dramas. We already see... We are going to see... There are interesting dramas that are ahead from that. It is not going to be anything different from what we have seen with... people going to Labour, or what has happened with SDP, or many other political parties that we have seen in the past. There is nothing going to be different. It's basically going to be press attack here and there, conversation up and down. They will not going to be able to really, what is most important, what the kind of coalition we need is a coalition against poverty, against poor health system, against bad roads. That is the kind of coalition, and that's the coalition Nigerians should be looking at. Not the coalition that the elites are trying to gather themselves up. They are preparing for another election. That is their intention. And, all these things, all these activities we are having now is part of the process to another election. So that is my thoughts.
So what would that coalition look like? The coalition you just spoke about, the one against poverty and, against all of
those are the ones that will call, that's the kind of coalitions that will push.
What personalities are you looking at? Because you've often spoken about the dangers of personality-driven politics. How can we shift the conversation and look at those ideas you've talked about, the ideologies you've talked about, fight against poverty, economic hardship? Who are the people?
The people of Nigerians are the people. You look at all these political elites. You have to have discerning minds, listen carefully to their manifestos and their plan, what their intentions are, and decide who can run.
Okay, so you're saying amongst the current political elite we have, we should look for those who have those ideologies.
New people will spring up. Nigerian political system has been done. I remember I've had a conversation with him before when we were during the period of the farm purchases and all that. Yeah. So, and we have this conversation. Nigerian political system is already monopolized. You understand? It's already monopolized. There is limit to the kind of... Nigerian presidents is all these names that we are mentioning that can gain momentum in the coming election. If new persons come, I don't know the miracle that can happen. So we have to look at what we have now. We should not make the same mistake we made in 2013. When Goodluck Jonathan was already looking for means at which to address our major issues like subsidies, a lot of issues around our insecurity and all. But because we were displeased, they formed a coalition, pushed him out of government. Now, for us now to realize, in 2020, when did President Tinubu come to power? 2023. For us to now remember that in 2020, that subsidy should have, if we have removed it, we have been feeling the impact by now. So we waited for so many years. So now the current people in government, we have sworn, all these people that are forming coalition, they supported these people into power. They were the one that brought this man to power by their decision, whether by their disposition or disposition. First and foremost, they had their PDP where they could have run as one team against him. They probably would have won then when he wasn't a president. But now he's a sitting president. Somebody you did not defeat, you did not come, you didn't form coalition when you had a neutral umpire, which is President Buhari, and you could have run against him and have defeated him. Now you waited for him to go into power.
And of course, you took the words right out of my mouth. Again, just before the elections, people have always been asking, you should have probably done this like 4 or 5 years ago.
So now, let us focus on what he will do in the next 8 years without no distraction.
All right, on that note,
so that's my own honest opinion. Yep. Let him complete his 8 years. You focus on the coastal road, the tax reforms.
Well, the people will decide on the completion of that 8 years, as it were. Shittu Adedayo Michael, Business Development Manager at Nigeria and Ghana at AHZ. Would like to thank you for your thoughts on those issues. And of course, it's still a fluid scenario. We'll be getting more on that shortly.